Doing a little Grateful Dead going in the background. I'll tell you one thing about the Grateful Dead. They were the best jamming band around, no doubt about it. So, hello, how are y'all doing? Happy Monday. Probably Tuesday, I think, on the other side of the world, but hey, it looks fine. Hope you're doing good and favor be unto us all. I'm kind of digging the day. I don't know about the rest of you, but it is like really, really a good day. Hey, Nina, what's up? Good to see everybody. See, are we live? It says we're live. I think we're live. We're live. Sometimes you don't know, but I don't. My philosophy is I really don't think this is the land of the living, the realm of the living. Mm-mm. I mean, if you're going to be in the land of the living, right? Doesn't that imply that, there's no expiration date? Did they give us one when we came in? Said, hey, buddy, come on in. We're going to go into the land of the living. And then you get here and everything dies. You have to kill something in order to survive. You have to eat it. Yeah. Anyway, how is everybody? Hello, all the moderators. Want to be a moderator? Let me know. So I appreciate all the moderators in here as I do everyone else. Hello, David Barry. How are you doing? Speaking of David, sometimes we all get into a position where, things get a little rough, a little tight. And David Barry, who gives, and gives and gives and gives, is actually in need of some help and a little support. So I have put his PayPal link underneath. And if you feel led, and tomorrow is here in America is Giving Tuesday. And I always say you help family first, right? Family, friends. So send them a little love. And while you're sending them a little love, maybe put some pounds over there. I think that's the conscript they used right there, David. It's dollars here, pounds there. So anyway, David, we love you, brother. And the thing about learning to be prosperous is the thing that many, many people have a problem with. Many people don't have a problem giving. People I have seen in my lifetime, by the majority percentage, are givers. There's some of us who have made a mission out of this life of giving. But the one thing that you have to begin to remember to keep it in balance is learn to receive. A lot of people have a problem with that. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I really appreciate that. But no, thank you. No, because if you learn to receive, remember, you become the reciprocator of someone else's favor, someone else's prospering, someone else's increase. Call it what you want, blessing, however you want to define it. You complete that circuit. And if you say, no, I can't receive that, then what you've done is that you've shut that person's ability to receive their return. You don't want that. So anyway, you're welcome, David. Yes, it is pounds. So give a gift of love. That's what I say. Who knows? Maybe you might have a house you move into where, like at Lakewood Church, where they find 3,000 envelopes, giving envelopes, by the way, full of cash stuck into the bathroom walls. Gives a whole new meaning to filthy lucre, doesn't it? Hey, go. So many people, I know some people say, would you just get to the point of the show? Well, I love you, but I also really enjoy interacting with this group of fantastic individuals. And I know on the replay that you're not part of the live show. I get that. But it is a moment, and it's a moment of sharing. Hello, Little Red Haze. How are you doing? William, good to see you. David Castle, much love. Janie, Deborah Sloan, go. So many. Hello, Teresa. Good to see you. Thomas, Project Sky Falls. So all the rest of you, thank you for the love and the support that you give to everyone here. And, you know, on the homepage of the YouTube channel, there's only one place that when people say, well, can we give? And I say, sure. Go to Lois's food pantry. She can always use food. And boy, are the words of Henry Kissinger spoken in 1974, Houston, Texas, in a forum where he said, the day will come will food will become the most precious, sought after commodity. We're there. We're there. Hey, Martin and Heidi, how y'all doing? Nice to see. Hello, Marie. Much love to you, dear. Good to see you. And I'm sure Paul and Gaia are there as well. Chloe, what's up? So, David Castle, how's Rufus? I always like to know the dogs. Martin and Heidi, how is Tony? That's their dog. My dog is Useless Eaters. I like that, Doug. I mean, even this chai tea that I drink, I love all the spices, but it was a living plant that produced it, right? So, and it's so good for you. It really is. It makes your tummy feel so good. So, yeah, there's a lot of chat going, and I appreciate that. It's a groovy day, folks. And thank you. I said favor over us all. BOSTO, be of service to others. Happy birthday if you got one. And we are definitely prospering. We are prospering. And our angel for today is Ha-Ahel. This is a cool angel. Let me tell you what. This is angel of mission. I mean, we're all on a mission, right? I don't care how you slice it, dice it, you know, the Slice-O-Matic 9000. I mean, we're all on a mission. I don't know how many people are successful in accomplishing their missions. I often wonder, is the finish line something that we move as opposed to when we first came in, we said, that's going to be my finish line. When I cross that line, then I have completed my mission. Tony's doing good. Chewing on his bone. Great. I love that. Got a email, and I am behind on the emails. Give me a break. Been an intense period. I'll tell you about it probably in 2022. But so just give me time. I'll get there. But anyway, Finland, she said it's really dry, no snow, but cold. Here where I live in Colorado, we have been in the endless summer. And if it wasn't for the fact that we were going into winter, it'd be damn hot here. Our nights have been 35 to 40 degrees above normal. Weird. That's all I got to say. Nina has is that a giveaway? Is that, so you need to enter. So make sure, Nina, make sure you put the link in. And if you'll send me the link, I'll put it in there as well. Lisa Lovejoy, how are you doing? Robert V, I'm going to be on Robert's show in January. Hello, Zigzagzilla. You're going to be on tonight with Robert. Okay, I'm picking this up. Yes, so enter to win the Winter Solstice Party giveaway. Link is there. So anyway, getting back to our angel of mission. So this is Deus Trianus, the God in three persons. Anyway, I could comment on that, but I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and just go right along. Patrons of spirituality, missionary, and other practices for the soul, mediation, meditation, and prayers. Protector of sages, guides, and also people feeling isolated, shunned, and alone people. Got an angel. I got a line on you, babe. Yeah, there you go. Help to understand our mission here on earth and fills us with energy to achieve spiritual richness and to get closer to spirituality. It's amazing, isn't it? How can you really be separated from spirituality? I often think that. I know some people who are just not spiritual. They're good people. They're just not their thing, you know? And it's kind of cool. I mean, you know, if you know where you are, you know what you are and why you're, then you're ahead of the curve. Teaches how to love and give unconditionally. Wow. Brings people the inspiration needed to talk about spirituality. Helps to devote to work, mission fully and fulfill all obligations. Allows to understand the reason for existing. You know, I asked that question. I had to do things Friday, but on Thursday. So what is your mission? It's still amazing to me how many people won't answer the question. What you afraid of, Jack? Facilitates to gain the qualities of a visionary, the knowledge of what exactly has to be done and when to do it. I can only tell you, folks, your words have more power than what you understand. And if you will learn to speak your future without ever speaking against it in a conversation, even with yourself, you'll be surprised. No matter how impossible it is, it will come to pass. We have the most amazing thing. We're in this thing called time. But yet, what amazes me is that we are all masters of time. We have the ability to manipulate time on an individual basis. How many times have you heard the expression, well, I don't have time for this. My time's very limited. I mean, I can just go right on through. And I had a dream. And in this dream, there is a change coming forth in my life, in my wife's life. I mean, it's here, and the dreams are really intense, and they sometimes seem, it's like listening to a foreign language for the first time. You know, you're going, I picked up part of that. It's the other part I'm trying to figure out the interpretation. But nevertheless, what I realized is that we have this unique ability, each of us individually, to alter time. I think we have the ability to alter destiny and fate. I don't think they're set. But that's just me. Welcome to the class of deep thinking. That's what we do here. I mean, it's such a fascinating life, isn't it? Even in the midst of trials and tribulations, what we don't realize is that there is a plus side to that. Because if you will learn to master the trials and the tribulations, you can literally alter their impact on you to be of such a positive impact. Be like winning the lottery. Symbol of faith, self-sacrifice, supreme and universal love. I love these angels. Nathaniel, thank you. Nathan, excuse me. His link, Shatar, I believe that is the correct frater. Shaktar, yeah. Get to know these. Big Al is, I think, just about done with the deck here. Got pre-orders everywhere. Bestows us with a desire to help others and the capacity for being of leadership. Erases attachments to worldly and material things, teaches the purpose of life, brings a spiritual wealth. You get down to it, I'd rather have the spiritual wealth. Marsha Price, how are you doing, dear? I owe you an email as well. I got some news I'm going to share with you. Shows how to find a soulmate. Any all alone? You shouldn't be. Well, I don't know. I can't say that. I was a bachelor for 20 years, lived by myself. Didn't have a problem with it. I love myself. I'm very entertaining. I truly am. I'm entertaining. Even by myself. Provides us with courage and nobility, protects from enemies of spirituality, mockery, and gossips, liberates from pain, suffering, misery, torture, the torment of any kind, and martyr's approach to life. You don't want to be a martyr. That sucks. Removes judgment based solely on looks, heals hatred and contempt. Well, groovy angel. That's all I got to say. Right with you. Guy, I'm telling you, we're all going to be getting together. Ain't no doubt about it. It's going to happen. So, going with the theme this week about the ability, if we can alter time on an individual basis, in other words, every word that I speak goes forth and prospers in the thing for which I sent it, and it shall not return unto me void, but it will prosper in the thing for which I sent it for. Now, you get into that mentality. Now let's extrapolate out and say, okay, that appears to be true. So what happens when you have nearly 8 billion people who have the same ability? Now, I contend the vast majority on a whole do not. They allow a system, a beast, whatever you want to call it, to harness that energy. And I believe that beast, whatever that entity is what manipulates the reality of this plane. But imagine if, for instance, this soul tribe, I'd say the hardcore group, probably about 400 or 500. We have manifested rain here, but it amazes me that if we all got into sync and began to focus on particularly how to alter time, a future time, by agreeing not only in words, but also in the fact of empowering our words, all as a collective, I'm telling you what, we'd be doing some wild stuff, man. I mean, I'm talking freaking wild stuff, not this freaking mundane crap that we see all over. Well, I'm talking about something that is fucking tangible, something that is fucking real, that you can actually see manifest. But the problem is most people will never believe it. They're cowards. They're afraid. They're afraid of actually seeing the fantasia of what this reality really is about. And I think that's how we get out of this prison. Yeah, I dropped the F-bomb, but it was for dramatic effect. And think about it. It's very clear that our time has been altered. Do you really think it's 2021, December 6th? Do you really think that? We know that's not true. The reason why it becomes true is that because you and I believe that calendar is actually telling us that we're in the date and space time. It's ludicrous. But we make it real, don't we? I'm telling you, folks. I mean, it pisses me off to see the crap that's going on today. It's just nuts. And it doesn't need to be. So, remote viewing, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the comments. There is so Ruth Ann says, "Oh, my virgin ears." Well, what can I say? In the modern day vernacular, what used to be offensive words have become the nomenclature of the modern era. I mean, you could have gotten kicked off television if you ever said the F word. And now there are shows out there that, hey, it's regular, it's like how it is. Yeah, I still have that thing. My species. I don't know if I've been another species. Got no clue. All I do know is that I'm in the game right now. And you know what? I'm saying it's time for us to kick ass back. And I have been taught nothing is impossible for those who believe. Nothing. There is no, asterisk there. It says, please read the fine print. This only works if, no. It says simply this: nothing is impossible. Nothing. So, having said that, okay. But I'm serious about altering time. If there's one thing these angels have taught me, I have an angel that I have sent back specifically, and this is what this angel does. Goes back in time, in my time. I have a unique timeline, as you do. We're all congealed in a greater timeline, but that's the most interesting thing about reality. Reality is the micro and the macro. So in my timeline, I know this angel is, and they don't have to do much. It's amazing. We all have what I call inflection points. In your life, there are probably multiple inflection points, but I'm talking about events that changed your life, altered the course that you were on. Now, the interesting thing about timelines is that you can start here, 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 but here, something happened. Could be physical, could be mental, could be spiritual. But in that moment, in that inflection point, you went up over here, when here you were supposed to continue here. Now, if you look at your life, let's say you're 60. You think, well, my days are becoming less than those behind me. Well, that's true. But if you have a spiritual interdimensional being where time is fluid, it's not on a parallel plane. It is multidimensional. Go back in your life and change an event. Maybe that person that you met, you should have never met. Could be just that simple. So, food for thought. What do you say, David Barry? During meditation, I once saw all of time laid out before me, similar to the seminar reel tape. Yeah, everything was happening all at once, but I could choose where and when to see it. Yeah, Robin says, we are living the dreams and going through all the motions. Yeah. Hey, Blanca, how you doing, dear? Zigzagzilla, how are you, my friend? And, I've been reading a lot about, this journey, the soul. Is it really a journey of the soul? Is it a journey of the spirit? My wife and I were talking about this last night, and the soul, is it a thought form? I mean, when we leave these bodies, there's one thought out there that what we're doing is that our spirits are actually giving birth to a new life form. It's your spirit. And at that moment of separation, that the spirit allows the soul to go forth as a new living being. It will always be a part of you because it is carrying you. But your spirit, I don't know. I still contend death is not what we have been taught. The afterlife is nothing compared to what every religion, every theology, ideology has ever thought. I think it's completely different. And I am more convinced that we are truly creators. I mean, I'm going to really love this cat named Wayne Steiger. I mean, this is one cool soul that I am seeing in a lifetime developed. My spirit is endless. My soul is new. And just a thought. Blanca, same here. Some of the things that are coming to me in my journeys here of late, and it's quite fascinating. Death used to be something that in all of my religiosity was the one thing I feared the most. And it's weird because, that's why you get into a religion, right? You're supposed to be able to get the golden ticket. Like, I don't have to worry about this. No way, man. But yet, it was all this freaking thing about, well, man, judgment. I don't want to get cast into the lake of fire. I mean, and then the trip just goes on and on and on, and it's a mind worm. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Once it gets in, woof. Very interesting. Little Red Haze, yes, I know your mom did pass on Friday. Yeah. On Black Friday. She's there with you. She is. I mean, and remember the journey over there, time is not, I did a video a while back on spiritual time, physical time, spiritual time. And who taught me this was actually some of the teachers that I grew up with. And although they were very heavily indoctrinated, there were some tremendous truths that were being taught that the vast majority of the population would never be consciously aware of. And when I began to realize that spirit time is ahead of physical time, that's where the manipulation of time can begin to take place. And I'm still telling you, if all of us got together and we started focusing and speaking, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. I mean, this is powerful stuff. And started focusing in on this collectively, we could alter time. Question becomes, how cognitive do we become of the time? We need a timekeeper. Twilight, I'm just going to repeat that because it's in the chat room. It says, since we started on this journey of afterlife, and we've been on it, it's got to admit, I mean, we're apparently going to be over there a long time. It seems to me that this is the place, kind of begin to lay it out. I don't know, because, we're going to come into we're really going to go into the realm, the spirit realm, the real living realm, We're going to walk out of the valley of death. You use that expression. Hey, Deborah Truex, getting hot in here. Much love at you as well. But she said, Twilight Travers said, more messages coming. Yeah. We were sitting last night talking, and two orbs. First time I've actually seen them in that kind of boom. I mean, it was right there. And I went, well, that's interesting, So yeah, perception is time and it will never come together. That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So if we could do that, imagine this it's an amazing trip. And again, if we're all giving birth, we created these beings called souls. I mean, can you imagine Deborah Sloan? You created Deborah Sloan. Isby, you created yourself. And that soul that contains the memories, the spirit has no beginning and has no end. I think the soul may. We definitely know it has a beginning. I don't think that our Wayne Steiger was our Wayne Steiger when I came into this realm. In 66 years, I have created our Wayne Steiger, as each of you have. And it's mind-bending when you think about it. Because only a god or goddess could really do that. No angels, no entities, luminaries. They can't create what you are. You created it. You created who you are. And think about it. I mean, that's rarefied air where we are. That's all I got to say. It's fantastic, folks. And if we could just begin to grasp the reality, then this thing called death is nothing more than just a doorway. I kind of refer it to like, have you ever gotten sunburn? How many of you are old enough that you actually put baby oil with iodine and laid out in the sun? I mean, that's just like barbecuing yourself. But I know a lot of chicks that did that. But anyway, it's kind of like, getting sunburned and then the skin heals and then you peel that skin off. I mean, that's really what the death process is. It's just peeling off the skin and moving on. But I'm trying to convey something here to all of us. And to think that there are beings, no doubt, they're aware of this as well. And as long as they keep us ignorant of this, they can manipulate us, and they have for tens of thousands of years. It's the remnant. And there's always a remnant that gets the same truth. I think it becomes, I don't know, communicated to us. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the message in the bottle. I've got to go back and read the chat room. It's like whoosh, because there is so much going on. We exfoliate our skin all the time. It's true. How many of you have you shed? Let me ask you that. Seriously, in your lifetime, how many yous have you shed? They say, and this gets really gross, that if you have a mattress that's 10 years old, it's probably got about 10 pounds thereabout of dead flesh. Yours, if you've been sleeping in it, or your significant other. Kind of gross. And then it gets even grosser because there are life forms. If you look under a microscope, electron microscope of these things, there are whole colonies of them. They thrive on you. They feed off of your dead skin on your mattress. Anyone want to take a nap? So Nina says we shed our skin every 7 years. Isn't that weird? Um, Lost in spaces. That's nasty. Yeah. Yeah. Dust to dust. I mean, they're dust mites is what they are. And they're feeding off of that dead flesh. I know that's pretty gross, but uh-huh. Yes, I know, Chloe. It's sickening. Yeah, but it is the truth. Oh, boy, this is the holidays, isn't it? Laughter, folks. Did you see the study that came out that if you laugh, really have a good belly laugh once a day, it's like turning back the clock, you know? Yeah. Learn to laugh. Not if you are a vacuum cleaner. You see, now I got everybody going, hotel bugaboo. Daddy for truth, ain't that the truth? And you see, Nina, you're just adding more fuel to the fire. Yeah, I mean, the minute you come in, you're decomposing. Wow. Don't tell me this is the realm of the living. Maybe that is our purpose, is to give birth to these souls. I don't know. So can a soul give birth to a soul? I don't know. Let's see. Interesting. During Ramadan in the Islamic faith, it's called the Night of Power. The object is to pray through the night towards Mecca, all positive thoughts. There's truths within every religion. I mean, that's we know. It's just that for myself, you have to see past this. So 10,000 years ago, was there Christianity? No. Was there Judaism? No. 100,000 years, were they practicing what? I don't know. Wonder if they were practicing at all. All right. See, I get into these thoughts and I begin, it's like, everyone, let's get on the bus now. We're going down this road and I'm trying to show you the sights on the side. And these are actually the mind coituses that come along. Let's see, Twilight Traveler says, maybe it's our purpose to learn the difference between this death realm and the other worlds as to not to be distracted by the illusion. Heavy. I love that. Twilight Traveler, you need to come on. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. This is why it's an honor for me to come here each day. I get to be immersed with people like you. That is so freaking far out. Wow. We will meet. We shall. And and whether it's in this realm or the next realm, I'll have the best, spiced tea and, because you do eat over there. You do drink. They say that the bodies, the true bodies that we have, it has a unique ability. And this actually comes back from the Book of the Bee. I finished it, and I'll give you a little insight about the walking resurrected story. In that story, the resurrected Christ in the story was able to consume food, but the way that the body worked, according to the Book of the Bee, is that the body transmutes the food into a source of energy that our bodies consume, but apparently in the spirit realm, there is a similar process, just a different way that the energy is released. Far out, huh? Hey, Rennie, there's going to be lots of chocolate. Now, if y'all want to stop off at my beach when you're off in your departure, please do come by. It's going to be a place, you'll know it by the music, but I'll guarantee you this, there will be plenty of chocolate. Hello, Elderberry. How are you doing? Good to see you, my friend. I love this show. This has just been, yes, the angels eat manna. Yeah. And according to the ancient Hebraic tradition, the manna fell on the ground and it was like colander seeds. And then it would burst open with this flaky, apparently very sweet tasting. You see, they don't worry about sweets on the other side. That's all I'm going. Mark, well, thank you. This is why we come here. You know, if people don't, who I know in the replay, if you check out, that's why I let the thing go. There's some really deeply spiritual minds in this group. I mean, there are some advanced gurus, as I would say, wizards, priestess. Yeah, that's all I got to say. We can be beach bums. Absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a great place. I mean, I'll actually have a pier that goes out. I mean, yeah, you can go fishing. Why not? The fish are down playing poker, you know, and as you drop your line in, it's the losing hand that has to take the hook. I'm only kidding. Like attracts like. Yes, it does. I absolutely do believe that. All right. You know, here I have been going on and on. Someone wrote me and said, interesting life, you know, told you about the story about the guy who his wife hired a hit guy. And yeah. And the story behind that, she actually hired 2 hitmen. It was the third one that apparently did the deed. Yeah. And here is my last thought as we get into maybe a little bit of the material I had. So think about this. What are we talking about? We're talking about the fact that, man, Shannon, you know, you're creating Shannon. So this gives a whole new perspective about how you want to send off your new thought form. But this occurred to me. So I'm sitting there just kind of meditating, just letting kind of the spirits to talk. And it was funny. We come in this realm and then you go to school because they're going to teach you what the rules are for the rest of your life. And rule number 1 is you go to work. Yeah. It starts early. What do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do for a living? I have to work for a living? Yes. And then it occurred to me, then you have people who have the ability to retire. No, that's just a death sentence advanced early. And I thought, isn't it interesting that our species, I never hear people say this. So what are you going to do now, Steiger? I'm going to play. Think about it. Who says we have to work 40, 50 years and then they never let us play? Never. I've determined, screw that. Now, they say if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. That's bullshit. You're still at a job. But I've never heard someone say, well, when I'm going to grow up, I'm going to grow up to play. Well, you can't make a living. What do you mean I can't make a living at playing? And the thing is that here I am on this part of the journey, and I look at this and I go, damn it. Why the hell didn't I think of that, you know, like 50 years ago? Guy says, boy, you and Paul are on the same page. Yeah, that's right, Guy. I mean, we got the thing going, you know, it's going all around here. You see, by the time you retire, you're too old to enjoy the thing. That's bullshit. That's a slave mentality. If there's one thing I got from the book of the bee, that freaking thinking is stinking thinking. This whole master be obedient bullshit, no. I have seen people who attempted all their life to be obedient only to die miserable and in fear. And so I'm back at this thing saying, why can't we go to play? I don't want to go to work. Teresa, have a great day, dear. Enjoy your afternoon. Much love to you, hon. And keep smiling, hon. Put a smile on my face. But see, I'm retired, caring for my dad. How old am I? Well, but caring is in a different sense. It's not an occupation. It's not a thing. It's a giving. And I can tell you this, Joyce, that's the type of giving that pays dividends on the other side. And let me tell you what, I'll just lay it out for you. You don't want to be a vagabond in the spiritual realm. Get your ass kicked. I mean, if you go over there ass broke, you're going to get your ass kicked. It's just the way it is. And you know where I learned that? Because, remember the saying, store your treasures in heaven. Well, heaven is whatever you want to define it. But the fact is, there must be then a correlation between treasure, prosperity, wealth. So are there broke ass spirits? Are there prosperous spirits? Are there spirits that have royalty, dignity, and then there's spirits that are just lowlifes, poverty mentality, have the attitude of a servant? I think we've seen some of those been captured on film. Are you also still working? No, I don't. I have fun doing what I do. I do. My fun is sharing knowledge with clients in other arenas in business, but also in spiritual matters. So I consider that, Martin Heidi, as playing. I have a friend who was on the PGA circuit for a number of years, and it was interesting. He said one time, where my game started going bad is that when I started looking this as a living. Said I used to do it because I was playing, and I thought, damn, did I get lucky? Think about that. Little Rez said, I'm going to travel. Indeed. Screw work. This work shit's going to go with my art, and I'm going to take it on the road. Inspiration and new free spirit, soul tribe. I'll say this to you, my dear Little Red. This is a fact. The universe isn't broke. The earth isn't broke. Except for what we've put up into space in the satellites, all the gold is still here. Virtually all of it. It's still work. No, here's something you're going to be surprised about, Martin Heidi. A lot of times I don't charge. I mean, either the universe is my source and supply or it's not. And I do many times, it's my way of sowing a seed. If I sow prosperity into your life as a business or an individual, and I don't charge you for it, where is my reward going to come from? It's going to come from outside, and it always has. But to each of our own. I mean, I think you can do anything. And Well, I'm not even going to get to material I got. It's all right. There was a woman that I knew way back when, back in the 70s. Her name was Bobby. And it was amazing that how things just came to her. And she was one who taught me at an early age. I was too wild, as they would say, to really fully grasp. And it wasn't until decades later. But the interesting thing about Bobby is that she always said that the earth provides. She would go out and point out in nature, animals have the way of being provided for, and there's a system there. And I think it's the same way. And if you think about this whole thing that we celebrate Christmas about, this is not about a worshiping of a savior. This is not about a worshiping of some holy deity. This is worshiping the God of materialism, wrapped in gift wrapped as though it's supposed to be spiritual. That's what it is. We don't celebrate it here. We stopped that a long time ago, but it's kind of the reality of what we're in, isn't it? Boy, cutting off on this one. Woo! Okay. But Joyce says the paradise tree. Yeah. We and if that would be the only thing, we don't put up the lights. I mean, I love the lights. To me, I just don't buy into it anymore. And it's because there's nothing here. We love giving gifts. That's cool, because that is something that should be 24/7. But I love the time of the season, and that is the renewal of life. That's what we celebrate. And the pagan tree is really the tree of life itself in its essence. Or so. Okay. Christmas Day is really New Year's Day. I like that. Yeah. Violet Brand, thank you. It's what we love now is the energy, the vibe. And it's not about materialism, I actually make some handmade gifts. It's like Marsha. We got so many talented people here. This is some of Marsha's work. Big Al has a beautiful and this is the kind of stuff that we look to give to people. Karen, the Queen of Quartz, she sent me a couple of years ago a box of amethyst. We've given it away. It's all over the world, but we still do, and it's beautiful. Okay. My wife said that she tired of hearing Jesus is the reason for the season, paganism is the reason, and pagan, not a bad thing, lights up the darkness. And all pagan is country folk. Y'all know country folk. I grew up in the country. Country folk. What the good thing about country folk, pagans, they have the most common sense, down to earth common sense. And as my 5th grade teacher, Miss Buttons, we called her, she has long since left this plane, but she gave me a gift. And it stayed with me for all these many decades. I still see her voice. I still see her face. I hear her voice. And I still remember her telling me. It was a day after school was let out. She said I was a smart kid, but she gave me a gift that stayed with me. She said, remember this, Wayne, an ounce of common sense will outdo a pound of book learning any day. That was the wisest spirit guide I've ever had in my life, because those words have guided me all my life. I didn't get to go to college at the, I wasn't allowed into school. I didn't have an address. I was a throwaway kid. You know, at the age of 15, you don't have an address, you can't go to school. But I was smart and I had common sense. All right. Well, this has been a great show. I just, but someone needed to hear that. Common sense. It is so lacking today. You look at our politicians, you look at our government, our country, you look at tech companies. There is no more common sense. It's devoid of common sense. And now I realize what Miss Buttons meant. She came out of the time living in the Depression. She was a teenage girl. And it was tough. Hello, Regina. How are you, my dear? And people back then didn't have college degrees, but they were the smartest people. Do you know today a high school senior cannot pass the elementary test of the 1889? They're not smart enough. In fact, I can tell you, high school graduates today, on a comparative basis, are ignorant, very ignorant. And that may be leading to our destruction. I don't know. Gaia, there you go. Yeah, and I grew up on the street. I learned. Never got in trouble. I had great favor in my life, folks. Because there I was doing some shit that shouldn't, yeah. Great favor. It's always surrounded me all my life. But I will say this, my PhD in life was, earned right on the streets of Houston, Texas, right there in the Montrose area. I learned about life. I learned about people. I learned about what people really are about. And as a child, 15 years old, you're a child. You think you're a man. You think you're a grown woman. You're not. There was a mass murderer in Houston, and I was that close from being a victim. So, yeah. All right. Didn't get caught. That's what it was, Marie. I didn't get caught. I had friends that got busted for like a roach, and spent a year in a Texas prison. And yeah. But yeah. All right, folks. Been fun. This has been fun. Didn't get to anything that I was going to do, but I like the rhythm. It's like It's a Beautiful Day says. I let my women flow to their own natural rhythm. David Barry, thank you. Super fast hour. Yeah. Much love to you, David. And just speaking love and prosperity over you, brother. Absolutely. What a book about your life, Wayne. Well, you're actually reading it, as I tell you here. Yeah. It's just been an amazing. We can do that. We're going to do that tomorrow. Yes, they have had strict laws in Texas. That ain't no bullshit on that. I got to tell you what, it's interesting. I'll share another story. I had a friend called Robert O'Brien, called him Bob. Bob, unfortunately, he had a bad sign. He had no favor. He really got hooked on heroin. And we were at, there was this place called Miller's Park. It was downtown where the zoo was at, the Forest Park area anyway. So we're coming back from that, and Houston PD pulled up beside us. It was weird. There were like, I think there was 5 or 6 of us. I had a benefactor. You remember the book Great Expectations? Well, I had a benefactor. Um, he was the detective that was assigned to my case when my father beat me so bad that, I had to learn how to walk. But anyway, it wasn't until years later I found out that this detective was always watching. He knew where I was at the whole time in the Montrose area. It's weird. But my point is about Bob. They singled him out, told the rest of us to get the hell out of there, and they beat the crap out of him. I beat him so bad when we got him out of jail, they had busted his spleen, and long story, he left the earth way too early. But anyway, okay, enough of this, enough story time. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for enriching my life. Y'all are just, again, you are the elixir of this journey that just makes it all so wonderful. It's just cool. Well, thank you all of you. I appreciate it. And remember, help out our friend David Berry tomorrow. And if there's a need that you have, send me your PayPal link, and Trina and I will spend most of the day tomorrow, and let's see what we can do about spreading a little joy. How about that? Thank you all. Hey, Chrissy Hines, good to see you, dear. Shannon, right back at you, girl. Jennifer, your mom was from the Montrose area. Well, if she's about my age, we probably ran into each other. Did she ever go to Of Our Own or to the catacombs? Yeah. All right. Going down memory road, but it was all rock and roll. That's the good thing about it. When rock and roll was rock and roll. All right. Much love, everyone. Thank you, Soul Tribe. See you tomorrow. Emperor Rex, how you doing? Peace. Much love to y'all. All right.